on. Oh, it's not on. I turned it off. Did y'all hear me singing? Oh, I say that would be terrible. Okay. Yeah, you might want to bring her down, buddy. I guess anyway. Me and my big mouth, it'll be the story of the ages. But anyhow, and with that being said, I just want to just jump in right into the sermon. In fact, I give you this emotional forecast of where we're going for the service as well, is that I know that you have the blanks there on the back. It might be that we only do 1 point, and I saved the second point for the second service, right? As I was looking at it, it's like, I really don't want to shortchange one. I really don't. And so if the time gets away from us, it's fine. We will have 1 point. The text is that which is most important, but I want to make sure that application is for us to be able to understand. So let's just jump right into it. By way of introduction, I was born in 1984. Therefore, if you do the math, that means I am 40 years old, and I'll be 41 this October, which would also mean that I grew up during the 90s, which has a lot of connotations and things that go with it. However, I don't know any of the, pop culture context and things, but there were some things I was well aware of. One of the things that stands out from the 90s specifically is what's pictured on the screen. It's not a notebook, but it is a Trapper Keeper. Oh yes, there's just something about it. Gen Z, you don't understand. You had to have one of these in school. In fact, if you're a girl, you probably had a Lisa Frank one, right? And it probably with the unicorns and all the colors and stuff that were on it. And I remember that was a thing. But more so that I want to highlight, though, is the next picture is a jacket. Now, when I say jacket, it actually even hurts my heart to say it. I'm not focusing in on the sports team specifically. My brother was a Penny Hardaway fan in the 90s and stuff, so this was the jacket that we definitely wore a ton. But does anybody know what kind of jacket this is? Who said it? It's starter, baby. Now, so is the next tag. For those who don't understand, no, there are jackets and there are starter jackets. Under Armour, eat your heart out, Nike. You're not even in this conversation, my friend. During the 90s, it was a starter jacket, at least in my little area of the world. We would wear it in the summertime. We'd wear it in the wintertime. We would wear it indoors. We would wear it outdoors. At every given point, the starter jacket was worn. Now, this is interesting. I wore my starter jacket so much that actually, you can see in the front of it, it has like this little holster in the front, and it was a pocket. And inside the pocket, it wore out. And so what happened was the pocket broke, and so when you put something in the pocket, it would fall into the inside lining of the jacket. And so you'd have to stick your hand in like a magic trick, reach for whatever it is that you were looking for, which is interesting enough because it began to do something within my personality that wasn't normal. I became and got the nickname in high school and middle school as Mr. Prepared, because what happened was I started putting tons of things in those pockets. You needed a Band-Aid? I have it. Do you need some deodorant? I have it. Do you need a screwdriver, multi-tool? I had it. When I put my starter jacket on, it was like this weighted armor, like the Middle Ages, as I got ready to go somewhere. And it was interesting, though, as I look back as the older Adrian and looking back at the younger Adrian of why I did that. It was weird because, honestly, in a more serious note, I never wanted to be in a position where I did not have enough resources. I never wanted to be in a position where I wasn't enough for the circumstance that presented my way. Now, it's interesting, you don't know my family dynamic and all the stuff that took place, and maybe there'll be a day to unpack, but if my mom needed a tissue, I wanted to get it. If my dad needed this, I always wanted to be that guy. And actually, some would say, well, you were fueled by some measure of fear. But here's what I want us to understand, because I'm making this illustration just to define one word. Because you say, well, you were fearful. I think it goes beyond that. I think in the English language, we use very simple words to define very complex emotions. Typically, we will say, how are you? I'm good, I'm bad, I'm fine. When many times there's something more complex under the surface. See, I think the word that fit that situation is actually the word dread. Now, let me define it and tell you what it is. You see, when we think about fear, it's the idea of something that is present focus. I am afraid of the dark. I'm fearful of the dark, what's taking place now. See, not only does dread add the aspect of fear, but it also adds another element, and it's usually future-oriented. And so, therefore, I dread something that's coming in the future. But what's happening with dread is this. It could be that your circumstances in the present are just fine. However, dread usually is capsulated that you look through a lens of disappointment. You've been disappointed, that you now look at everything through this lens of dread. And even though things could be great, and even though things could be wonderful, there's usually a dreadful expectation to follow that God could be blessing our socks off, but we cannot realize because of the dread that we have inside. Now, it's interesting because the passage we're reading today is a man who is dealing with dread. We would say, see, what would happen, psychiatrists would call this foreboding joy. That would be the word for it. What that word would mean is that you can't be excited from the present because you've been disappointed by the past so much that you can't even see to the future. However, this foreboding joy, we would say in layman's terms, you and I became jaded. After I've been hurt so many times, I become jaded, and hope actually becomes not even logical. That therefore, if I can't logically see why my life should have hope, therefore I live in a state where I truly have no hope when we possess the hope of Christ inside. Let's look at this story together. The person who is facing this dread is Jacob. Now, Jacob's the dad. Keep that in mind. We're going to move through this passage here as I'm titling this, The Quiet Work of God. Now, so I don't, like Greg did last week, I thought it was good because sometimes I take a good measure of time to bring us all the way up to speed from beginning to end. I'm really not going to do that. I'm just going to give enough context so you know exactly what's happening. Pretty much the only context is the brothers have come back. They have their money in their sacks. They came back home. As they come back home, they're having a conversation because they're getting ready to run out of food and they need to head back to Egypt, okay? Let's have a word of prayer as we look at this passage together, asking God to be able to show us what he wants us to know in his word this morning. Father in heaven, I'm thankful for your word. I'm so grateful. Lord, we have been reminded not only of your awesomeness and, Lord, how you are to be magnified, but, Lord, we also, Lord, just take a time just to thank you for we have the Bible. Lord, we get to read from your word. And, Lord, in just a moment when we begin to read from it, I pray we wouldn't tune out. Lord, I pray that we would do our due diligence, Lord, to keep our hearts stated on you. Lord, I desire to have your power today. Lord, I desire to do all that you intend during this service. Lord, whatever it looks like in this season, in this time, to be committed and sold out and, Lord, just absolutely yield it to you. That's what I'm asking. And, Lord, it might look differently than I think, but I want you to be glorified. Lord, I pray that you'd use your word. Lord, use it in our hearts as we look at this point here from Jacob's life. We pray that you'd use your word as we go through. In Christ, let me do pray it all. Amen. Amen. Now, in chapter 43, verse number 1, the Bible says this: now the famine was severe in the land. We're going to pause there. Number 1, we're not going to go this slow through the text, but I want to make sure you understand something. Okay, so a famine's in this land. Now, when it says a severe famine, I want us to understand in our North American context, a famine is something that is unfathomable, that I think people, you don't understand just how bad it is. When you go in the Old Testament and you read about famines, keep in mind the famine of Samaria. And many of those that may not know that famine, but remember during that time, the way that they were using exchanges was using dove dung. Remember they were eating donkeys' heads. Remember that the king got involved because one mom came to another mom and they made a bargain that they would eat one person's child one day, and then after that person's child had been consumed, they would then come and eat the other child. What I'm saying is famines are terrible. So when there's a famine in the land, let's not just brush over that a severe famine, the Bible says, is in this land. Now, as you continue, verse number 2, and when they had eaten the grain they had brought back from Egypt, their father said to him, go again, buy us a little food. But Judah, okay, let's stop there for a second, because Jacob looks and he says, hey guys, I need you to go back to Egypt and I need you to go and buy more food. Now, Jacob already knows that the deal is this. Before they can go back, they must take Benjamin with him. But because of being blinded by dread, it's almost like if I ignore it, it's not going to happen. Like in a way, let's not talk about the obvious in the room, that for us to go back to Egypt, we need Benjamin, because that's what the man said. So he's kind of blindly looking at this because he's already aware, verse 3, but Judah said to him, the man solemnly warned us, saying, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you will send your brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said to us, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. Israel said, why do you treat me so badly as to tell the man that you had another brother? What does dread do? He then looks and they're having this argument. He already knew he was supposed to send Benjamin. And Judah has probably had this conversation. I'm not leaving. We're not wasting our time in making the trip to Egypt, Dad. We're not going to do this if you don't let Benjamin come with us. And as they're having this argument, what does dread do? You're attacking me. You're after me. Like, why are you treating me so badly? Bro, this ain't about you. But after I've been disappointed, let me not get to the point. We'll get there to the end. But after this, he's looking through these eyes of dread. Now, continue on. It says this. In verse number 7, they replied, the man questioned us carefully about ourselves and our kindred, saying, is your father still alive? Do you have any brothers? What we told him was an answer to these questions. Could we in any way know that he would have said, bring your brother down? And Judah said to Israel's father, send the boy with me, and we will rise and go, that he may live and not die, both we and you and also our little ones. I will be a pledge of his safety. From my hand you shall require. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. If we had not delayed, we would have now returned twice. Now, so Judah, this is a great example. We're not speaking on this. So many points to bring from this passage. But this is handling somebody who's experiencing dread, which is a very good neighbor to anxiety as well. It's very interesting. But as you look at this, as they're having this conversation one with the other, and Judah walks with Jacob, even though he's probably very irritated of repeating the story again and again of what needs to be done. He slow walks with him, and after he slow walks, he does inject truth and says, now, Dad, look, we're willing to do it. I'm going to go. I pledge you that upon my life, I will bring him back. Then he says this to add to it as well. But Dad, you got to let us go. We could have been back twice by now. Like, we can't sit here and keep on chatting about this. Just because we're thinking about something doesn't mean we're actually doing something, Dad. We need to take action at this time. So you continues down. And their father, Israel, verse 11, said unto them, if it must be so, then do this. Take some of the choice fruits of the land in your bags and carry a present down to the man. A little balm and a little honey, gum, myrrh, pistachio, nuts, and almonds. Actually sounds really good. Take double the money with you. Carry back with you the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take also your brother and arise and go with the man. Key verse of the whole day. You ready? May God Almighty grant you mercy before the man. And may he send back your older brother and Benjamin. And as for me, if I am bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. Now, this is interesting. There's a lot I want to think here, but God used a vehicle of dread and used that to get him to a place of trust in his life where he had to be willing. God, I'm going to ask that you protect. But if I lose my son, I will lose my son. This is big, but we'll get there. Number point, look at though as we go through the text. So we saw a reluctant return. Then now let's do in verse 15, an unexpected welcome. I'm going to read through this passage, not a ton of commentary, because it's pretty self-explanatory. So let's let the word of God speak for itself. So the men took his present this present. They took double the money with them and Benjamin. They arose and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. Now, again, they don't know it's Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, bring the men into the house and slaughter an animal and make ready, for the men are to dine with me at noon. The man did as Joseph told him and brought the men to Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought to Joseph's house, and they said, it is because of the money which was replaced in our sacks the first time that we were brought in, so that he may assault us and fall upon us to make us servants and seize our donkeys. Can we just time out for just a second? I don't think in our North American context, once again, we understand just what real power feels like. If I told you, hey, look, you're going to stand before, think about the most powerful, the CEO of whatever, POTUS, you're going to stand before somebody like that, you would walk in and be like, wow, this is a lot of respect. But no person in the building is actually standing before a POTUS like they are standing before a pharaoh at this time. This guy legally could look at you and be like, I don't even like the way you look. I don't like dude, kill this man. Like, literally, that's the amount of power that this person possesses. Like, what I'm saying is, could people do that in our day-to-day? Of course they could. But what I'm saying is, it would be completely above board legally for this man, when they stand before Pharaoh at this time, well, Joseph at this time, who's second in command, they understand this is some serious business that we're in front of this guy. So let's continue to read. So they went up, verse 19, so they went up to the house, the steward of Joseph's house, and spoke with him at the door of the house, and said, oh, my Lord, we came down the first time to buy food, and we came to a lodging place. We opened our sacks, and there was each man's money in the mouth of his sack, and our money in full weight. So we have brought it again with us. And we have brought other money down with us to buy food. We do not know who put the money in our sacks. He replied, peace to you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father, which is very interesting, he said that, has put treasure in your sack for you. I received your money. Then he brought Simeon out to them, who has been kept prisoner. And when the man brought the men to Joseph's house and gave them the water, they washed their feet. When they had given their donkeys fodder, they prepared the present for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. So this was this unexpected welcome. They come down. They have this speech already prepared. We had extra money, bro. I don't know what to tell you. The steward's like, dude, don't worry about it. In fact, you're going to be dining with the head man. Well, not kind of with the head man at noon. So this is unexpected for the brothers, but let's move to this last part of the text, where you see not only that, but a long-awaited reunion in verse 26. When Joseph came home, they brought into the house him the present that they had with them, and bowed to him to the ground. And he inquired about their welfare and said, is your father well? The old man whom you spoke, is he still alive? They said, your servant, our father is well. He is still alive. And they bowed their head and prostrated themselves. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, is your youngest brother of whom you spoke to me? God be gracious to you, my son. Then Joseph hurried out, for his compassion grew warm for his brother, and he sought a place to weep, entered into a chamber and wept there. Then he washed his face, came out, and controlling himself, he said, serve the food. They served him by himself, and serve him by himself, and them by themselves. And the Egyptians who ate with them by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. And they sat down before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked at one another in amazement. Portions were taken to them from Joseph's table, but Benjamin was 5 times as much as any of theirs. And they drank, and they were merry with him. So they walk into the room. As they are there, they are put in birth order as far as the seating arrangement goes. As the brothers are sitting down, as you ever go to someone's house and you're looking at the seating arrangement, I never just plop down when I go to somebody's house, like, where do you want me to sit, or whatever it is, and they put them in birth order. And then Joseph, which this is a test, I believe, but this is going to be the next chapter for somebody else to unpack. Well, Nick, yeah, you're going to be unpacking this about Joseph testing his brothers about this. And it's interesting because then there he's looking to see, most likely he gives Benjamin 5 times as much food, and it's almost like, in our vernacular, he's looking through the Ring camera on his phone and seeing how are they going to treat him, because they know this struggle with favoritism. Are they going to treat this brother just like he was treated all those many years ago? But that's a story for another day. Well, as you see all these things take place, they're sitting down and they're having the food, and as far as our text comes, we come to an end. Now, You have to keep coming back next week, obviously, for the story of Joseph, but obviously you can read it for yourself. But I do want to make 2 points. Maybe 2, possibly, definitely 1. As we look here, let's go back here to verse number 14. Let me read point number 1 as we go through, and that is this. Sometimes God allows worsening circumstances to move us toward obedience and trust. This is interesting because now we're playing a pendulum game here. Is that sometimes what happens in our life is we kind of attract over one side of like worsening circumstances are happening in my life because I am doing something bad and something wrong. And that's the only reason why, or we have on the other pendulum swing as well, that the only reason that God is doing this and worsening my circumstances is because he's trying to bring me forth as gold. I do believe we always find that somewhere in this middle portion that is true that God could be, just like Jacob, worsening his circumstances as it pertains to draw him to a place of obedience and trust. And then what God used inside this man was to take the dread that he had to identify in him where his dependence was lying, where his dependence was relying on. This doesn't make a lot of sense until you throw a real life illustration, and I know this is going to be close to home, but I want us to not hear a point and then try to see, well, what does that fit into the whole scheme of things? Well, see, when I think of this story, I was like, Lord, what is an illustration that can then help us to understand what this looks like? I realize that when we come to a church, and if you've been to a church longer than, I don't know, 5 seconds, that maybe you have experienced in your life what people have termed as church hurt, which means that we're going to use that illustration over this matter of dread. So what happens is, here I am in a position where I have seen so much disappointment, so much disappointment, so much disappointment, that now my lens always sees through that disappointment. And I'm looking at my worsening experiences and circumstances inside of my life. And what happened is, if I were to do a spiritual autopsy, my last time of spiritual growth was during the time I last got disappointed. And I have literally stopped, and it has stunted my spiritual growth. And you know what God could do is take my circumstances and worsen them to make me then realize, where has your trust been in all along? Like I'm being real. Like just break it down, throw a nick inside the pot, right? It's like, I think that there are some people, like I have no idea. I don't know this room, so I'm still a newbie. I don't know any of the circumstances and stories, right? But you know, there's some that are literally would be oddly pleased because they've been here when Nick got here. We're going through health. We're seeing God do some things. And so the present, God is blessing. But some have stopped at this point before of the jadedness and the disappointment that actually there would be actually some consolation if Nick went out and did something stupid. If he had an affair, if he embezzled $100,000, then it could be, see, what did I say? My confirmation bias is right. We cannot depend upon this. And you know what? You are right. Let me be Adrian just for a moment. Do you know why? Because my faith is not in a Nicholas Dunn. My faith is not in a Gregory Miller. My faith is in the Lord Jesus Christ, period. And sometimes God may shake up our world to make us realize, where's your hope been all along, bro? Has it been on a logo on a sign? Has your hope been in whatever circumstance or community that you've seen? Or has your hope been in Christ? See, when you look at this, am I preaching no hope? I don't know. I'm trying. But as you're looking at this, here's Jacob. His hope is that Judah can be so awesome to bring his son back. He's hoping that maybe his plan that he has orchestrated could actually do what he could not do. And God says, hold on, stop. And he worsened his circumstances for him to realize, well, you got to trust me. And because when you look through this lens of dread, and this is how you see the world, and though God is blessing in the present, we can be so jaded and not see what God can do in the future. We got a couple minutes, so let's try this, Brenda. We're going to go to, let's try. Let's go to the next point. All right, second point. God is not just I love this point. Okay, but anyway, God is not just the author of your story. He's orchestrating the stories around you too. Okay, this is the latter part of the passage, really highlighted when Joseph's brothers come back. Okay, remember as I said in the beginning of the text, the beginning of the series, I said whenever you see these two things, Joseph dreams, there's always a spiritual growth path to some degree, right? Because of this case here with Joseph, we're going to have to do the abbreviated version, all right? As you see this growth point in his life, what do you find? Joseph was given a beautiful gift to translate dreams. You see it when he was a teenager. God blessed him immensely with this gift. And the first time around, it was this. Hey, guys, God gave me this dream, not sure what it means. Now, the first time, I give you a pass. Second time, bro, you know what you're doing, and I feel he was being arrogant, kind of like boastful about his gifting. Then you see a next time of Joseph's dreams. Can we go to that passage that has highlights to two different times? Okay, and they said to him, this is him translating another dream. They said to him, we have had dreams and there is no one to interpret them. So this is Joseph in the prison now. We've gone through this. And Joseph said to them, do not interpretations belong to God? Please tell them to me. Now, this is really good, but you got to be a little bit of a grammar nerd to stick with me on this. This doesn't happen in English. We don't use this, but in Spanish you do. So like reflexive in Spanish would be like cepillarse, bañarse, or whatever it is. If somebody was speaking Spanish and it was like they were sitting right here and they would say bañarse, all you do is be like, you're taking a bath. But for us, the reflexive means this: I bathe myself. I brush my teeth myself. Like, it's like reflexive. I'm doing it myself. In fact, if you were to go to a grocery store in Honduras and somebody would say, you need some help, they would literally look at you and say, dígame, which means this. Hey, tell me, what you need? Like, I got you. What do you need? Do you know what he uses? And it shows up in Spanish, not in English. When in Genesis 40, do you know when he asked them about the interpretations, do you know the word he used? Dígame. He means like, I got you. Now, interpretation belongs to God, but I got you. I can do this. And it's like, well, he's still growing. I mean, it's not like he's boasting about his gift, but he's still growing. And then you come to one of my favorite verses in the Bible, is when he stands before Pharaoh after 2 years of God worsening his circumstances. 2 years later, Genesis 41:16, he stands before Pharaoh and asks the exact same question. We need somebody to interpret a dream. What does he say? And Joseph answered Pharaoh, it is not in me. I can't help you, bro. But I know someone who can. His eyes are not on anything else but God. Now, listen, there's a whole sermon in that. Maybe one day I'll preach it about waiting on God because it's beautiful. Not saying the sermon is beautiful, but the passage is beautiful of how God shows up in a waiting and what only things you can learn by waiting. But I highlight Joseph's story. Why? Because Joseph in this trajectory has been growing. Can we go back to the other slide where the point is? Because I just forgot it that fast. As we got ready, as you go through, is God is not just the author of your story, but you know what he's also doing? He's orchestrating the stories around you too. Do you know what Joseph does? Is he looks at his brothers, and when he sees them, he's throwing through some tests now. You can see that. Will they return the money? Hey, so will they treat Benjamin differently? I'm not saying he's coming in and saying, hey, guys, I know that you love Jesus now. That's not what he's doing. But do you know what he's leaving room for? That the person who's disappointed you most, you haven't seen for years. And in that time, God has been growing you. God could have also been growing them. And it ain't fun to think about because we want God to go ahead and drop the hammer on him. But do you know sometimes you have to step back and say, God could be doing something in their story too. He's not just here in my life, and Joseph has realized, hey, look, I didn't have it all together. I didn't do it all right when I was a teenager. I didn't handle everything perfectly. But you know what? I'm going to give a chance that God could have been doing something in their life too. And I'm saying, church, we got to back up for a second. Because I even did this test for my own self and my own heart before I even showed it to you. And I said, Lord, help me to think of the person that has disappointed me the most. And my wife knows that wasn't too hard. A name has popped up in my head, okay? Like, didn't take too long. And I know who the dude is. And even to say, even if you were to introduce, I'm not gonna tell you his name, but like if you were to introduce yourself and you had that name, you would even see my face twitch. You're like, But do you know what I did before I even come and prayed this? Before I even preached this sermon? I said, Lord, I could have handled things differently. Now, Lord knows he should have, but God's still working on me, folks, just know. But Lord, you could have been doing something in this life over the last 3 years too. And if it is on this side of heaven, that providence allows that we are in the same boat, at the same place, at the same time, then I'm gonna have to acknowledge that, God, you could have been doing the work in his life and help me to show grace. This is a life that is shaped by the gospel of grace. This is not only, and even in the earlier part, this is a gospel-shaped life that is not only by trust, but also by grace. Let me just highlight that and then we're done. It's just a matter of when I'm shaped by the gospel of trust, I then am choosing to say, God, when I ask you to save me, just like that baptism story, God, I ask you and trust you by faith that you solely are the one. Lord, I place my faith, my dependence completely upon you. And then let's just say, God is looking down from heaven and he's seeing, let's just say a transaction takes place of me placing my faith in Christ. And let's just say illustrative wise that I begin to place my faith in the person who pointed me to Jesus Christ. And God's like, hold up, stop. Now I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for Nick. I'm thankful for all these people that God's placed in my life. But hold up, your faith ought to be in me. And the gospel-shaped life says, do you know, no matter who God uses in my life, that my faith is still anchored in the one who saved my soul. And that is Jesus Christ and him alone. So when I come in the building and we get ready to sing and praise him, I want it to be audience of one, the Lord Jesus Christ. So much to learn, the life of Joseph. Let's pray together. God in heaven, I'm thankful for who you are and what you've done. Pray that you just use your word inside of our life. I pray that as we have seen this text unfold, that Lord, you are still writing a story. And Lord, even for those who have disappointed us greatest in our lives, I pray, Lord, that we would have a spirit, a gospel-shaped life that then prays grace over that situation. I pray that you would just continue to use, Lord, the truth to continue to embed in our heart as we go throughout this week. We don't take for granted your word. We don't take for granted your blessings. And we pray that you have been honored today. In Christ's name, we certainly pray it all. Amen and amen. Hey, church family, we thank you so much. If you have questions about all the different sermon titles and stuff, that church text number is at the bottom of the bulletin. I welcome you to text the word questions to that. We'd love to be able to meet up and chat. In the back is Shelly. If you have a Connect card to be able to exchange, and if you have interest in the baptism class, we shall meet you in the brick building in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. God bless.
Starts to blow, how you gonna keep this flame alive in the fading light when night is bright?